Okay, Walker, as a writer and director of the film, what was it about Camille's music and her struggles in the business that inspired this film?
Well, I've known Camille for about 12 years now. And so I've had a front row seat to her life, her career, her triumphs,
Okay.
and her struggles. Like it all began with a personal connection as like a friend, a cheerleader, confidant, many things. And I've been sort of like inspired, in awe, seen little parts of myself in her and what she's doing. And
Mhm.
of course she's phenomenally talented, but she also has the quality, the it thing. And so I think that she's relatable, but it's also at the end of the day, I've rarely, if ever, met someone who hustles her ass off as hard as Camille. And I think that like people can relate to someone who has like incredible work ethic to go with talent and like
Yeah.
still running up against the system, because
Mhm.
there's so many of those barriers to so many of us, and particularly like I think Camille can speak to that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And for example, when planning out this film, did you make a list of Camille's life you want to explore, and then she had input on what she felt comfortable sharing?
Yeah, so
We were very open. We had an honest line of communication the entire time
Hmm.
about, how we would feel comfortable, what we would both kind of feel comfortable saying and
Of course.
you know, projecting out and
Mhm.
producing. So therefore, yeah, we were just very openly communicative about what things I mean, honestly, and there's not a lot of there's not a lot of things I wouldn't necessarily show, but I think because I think the more real and honest it is, the better it comes out to be and the more it resonates. So yeah, we just were open about it. And if I ever felt uncomfortable or was like, I don't want to do that, then we were just talked
All
about
yeah,
right.
it.
it was it was a very fun, and it has been a fun and gratifying experience, because like shoots and developing a project of this sort of like ambition can be it can really suck a lot out of you because you have to do so much. But the process of like coming up with a story, or building scripts around existing stories or nuggets of experiences, was probably one of the most like one of the smoothest and most kind of like between the two of us additive
Hmm.
experiences. Like it was always just adding more, making better, adding more. It didn't feel like there was a whole lot of like butting of the heads. Of course that happens sometimes. And then
Yeah.
another exciting thing was that when we were shooting last summer across shooting blocks, we had events that Camille was either going to be performing at, or we had like live events, including a street carnival in which like we had to shoot it then. So we had to structure stories around these live events that was like kind of nice, because it's building a puzzle around like how can we integrate true life experiences, something that's
Yeah.
dramatic that people will relate to, and that we can weave into like a complicated live event in New York City. So it was very fun and challenging, and I feel
Yeah.
like we learned a lot. We took our knocks, but like we came out of it, I think, pretty solid.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. And Camille, what was it about Walker's vision that had you all in to be a part of the film?
I think I think our friendship first, because we're like we're best homies. We've known each other for
Hmm.
years. So I think if anyone were to do this and take this story, I wouldn't trust anybody else with it,
Hmm.
realistically. So I'm all in. The cards are in, my whatever you say, however you
Good
say that.
shit.
The chips are in. Yeah. And I think also too, just when we came together to like formulate the ideas and the concepts for the episodes and kind of where we want things to go and things like
Hmm.
that, I was very involved every step along the way. So it's my baby as well.
Yes. And what kind of challenges did you face while making I Need Your Love?
I would say challenges that I faced was just having to relive and uncover and unearth a lot of like insecurities and things about myself that, you know, you just kind of push down because you don't want to face those realities all day, every day. So then to have to like do that on camera as myself, as an elevated version of myself, and to have to come to those terms was difficult for sure.
All
Mm,
right. And
I think that's a good.
I'm sorry.
No, I think that's it. When you asked that question, I was thinking of all the like literal physical challenges, and I think it's so much
Yeah.
more important to talk about those kinds of challenges.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
watching the movie back, Camille, what are some moments you are very proud of, and ones that, or the ones that you think were turned out really well on screen?
Is it selfish to say the whole thing?
No, think of something.
I would probably say I really love the opening scene of the entire thing, and I think it's just shot so beautifully. And our DP, her name is Danielle Elise Bartley, just did a really good job consistently of like painting me in the best light and making sure I'm, you know, looking stunning all the time. So definitely the opening scene. And honestly, we were just so all over the place. We, you know, we're shooting in Jersey, we're shooting in like all over New York and things like that. So it was just really fun to like see all those different locations and stuff.
Okay. And
That's great.
given that both of you have played different hats in this series, what would you say was the phase that turned out to be the most rewarding for you?
Did you say the phase or the like basically the role, the hat?
Yeah, the role they had.
Um, I I think because I don't have my background is in writing, so I have a lot more experience in working on script and thinking about like the structure and the theory and the characters and all that stuff, and either sort of like, I don't know, a little bit of an academic way sometimes, which is that removes the art from it and it's not as rewarding sometimes. And I don't have as much experience because I'm relatively young directing. So it was very gratifying to me to like learn to be a good communicator with everyone on set, but especially with the actors and our like primary the star of the show, to have just like to develop a language that is like open and clear and makes people feel safe and comfortable. Camille and I met a few months before shooting down. She grew up in Florida, and I went down there for a weekend, and we practiced basically just with an iPhone, communicating with each other and like talking storytelling and just kind of figuring out some of the language that's going to work best for how we work. And I think in hindsight that was probably valuable because we learned a lot in just like 2 days basically.
Yeah.
And with Camille's sister as well. Marcel was there helping us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And Camille, what piece of advice would you give to someone who is starting in the music business?
Don't take no for an answer. Like it's so cheesy, but it really always comes back to this, is just be honest. Be honest with yourself, be honest with your message, be honest with what you like. Don't like, you know, forget the trends and forget like, yeah, I would just say start writing and singing and hustle. Yeah.
And as a writer of this series, Walker, what do you expect that lingers with the audience when watching I Need Your Love?
Um, what do I expect the audience to? Sorry,
Yeah, the
I
kind
was
of
catching some.
don't worry. What do you expect lingers with the audience, and what kind of message do you want to give with this film?
I think I'm gonna echo some of the things that Camille just mentioned about the sort of the forgive us honesty. Because I think that like the show or a show like this only works if like whatever sort of like storyline, whatever joke you're telling, there has to be elements of truth because people are really smart. Like everyone, everyone's smart out there, right? And people can pick up on when you're full of shit, you know? And we try to like cut through that as best we can, you know? And I think that like that people need to resonate with that, and also like Camille's, like this is largely about Camille's experiences as specifically as a musician, and like the struggles that she encounters along the way to pursue like her goals, her ambitions, and all those things to make herself whole. But this does, like, I think people can connect to this if you are a school teacher, or if you are, you know, work in finance, or you're a cop or whatever. I think we can all relate to what it means to like really put yourself into something, and then it's hard when you don't get exactly as you had envisioned for yourself. And like what, you know, how do we respond to that? There's so many different ways you can respond to that. And I don't think there's one particular way, but I think that we're exploring just like what it means to go for it, and in the face of a lot of challenge, and we do it with humor, you know, with honesty, with all the tears and laughter. So I think people will relate to that.
Okay, perfect. And are there any upcoming projects that the both of you would like to share with your audience?
Cam, you go first.
Upcoming what?
Projects.
Projects.
Any single?
I have, yeah, so we also have a music video that, because I just released a song last Thursday called Desperate for Love. And so we actually shot a music video a couple weeks ago, and now that will also be premiered at Tribeca tonight, which is crazy as well. And the music video will be coming out later this month. Upcoming performances, I'm singing backup for this artist, Alan Stone, at the Hollywood Bowl later this month, June 26th and 27th.
Yeah, Gladys, as soon as we get up
Oh,
this,
and yeah.
what? Oh yeah, we have, so we're going to be screening another one of our episodes at Dances with Films, which is a film festival in Los Angeles in June 29th. So we're very excited about that. And as soon as I get off this call with you, I'm gonna check my phone to see what's going on with the French Open final, because my boy Carlitos is close to getting his first Grand Slam and gonna make happen, which is about tennis. And it's set at the US Open, and it's kind of like a White Lotus style, but it's fun and dramatic and sexy and funny and all those things. So that's in addition to what we're doing together here.
Okay, fantastic. And well, finally, Camille, what would you like to say to the fans and supporters of the music that you make?
Thank you. Continue to support and give love to, please follow at INYL series on Instagram. I need your love, but INYL series. I am at Camille Trust on Instagram. INYLseries.com is our website.
Hit him.
And yeah, just thank you and continue to support all the things.